I'm trying to work on a quote or a phrase for this. It's probably out there, but somewhere around that, your life is their life. It's that golden rule. It's somewhere near that, but also like that person in that wheelchair is having the same emotions as you, I think. It's being able to put your feet in somebody else's shoes and, thinking, what if I was in a wheelchair and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not the best analogy or whatever, and it's not the most uplifting, but it's it's giving an opportunity to be more grateful, to appreciate. And I had this thought from today actually. The gym went okay. I didn't succeed in some areas when it came to the bench press, and I was a bit bummed out. Wasn't feeling physically, just feeling a bit weird. But then I sat down on the bench at the train station and I just looked at a man who was with someone who helped him. He was in a motorized wheelchair, and I'm just thinking, Elias, you piece of shit, right? You have these examples of people in, yeah, I mean, this will be, it sounds whatever it sounds, but being able to look at something and just tell yourself it could be worse, and you are not alone, and you are not the one that's suffering the most. You shouldn't take away your suffering, of course. You still have things, and you still have these expectations. You still have those important things. You shouldn't throw them away just for this. That's not what I'm saying, but I was sitting there complaining about not doing enough reps in a workout, and here we have a guy in a wheelchair who doesn't, or maybe won't be able to go on the treadmill. And, it puts things into perspective, right? How lucky I am, how I should be really thinking about it. Sure, I will make sure that I do that better, and I will make this work somehow and then succeed, but and towards my finite goal, but don't make it don't make it about that, and not being able to not don't make it about that, and rather make it about the opportunity you have to do that, right? And yes, of course, as I said, being able to take that feedback, or being able to, yeah, being annoyed, angry, whatever, but don't let it consume you, because it's not that. It's not about that. And I was sitting at this bench and I was just thinking, right, you dude, you've not been yourself these last couple of days for some weird reason. And then I sort of trying to put myself in that position. Would I have it way worse? Definitely. Yet that person is still here. He's fighting, stronger than me. Do you see him complaining about it? No. It didn't look like he complained about it. He seemed actually happy, joyful. And just, being able to maybe imagine your reality if I was in a wheelchair blind. You would be able to adapt, and I'm sure all of you would be able to adapt and then be even stronger than you've already been. But it would be a struggle, it would be difficult, and more difficult than the position I am currently in. And it's just that's his reality. That is his reality. He's going to be able to live with that. A lot of people will have the opportunity to live with fully functioning limbs for as long as they live, or mostly all their lives. He can't. That train that's done. That's done. And I'm not sure, he's probably maybe found the truth in that, being able to accept that. And that same acceptance still applies for the people that still have the opportunity to walk, to do whatever. It still applies, the acceptance that you are mere a human, you are just a human being, just as vulnerable as every other person. And yeah, it just kicked something in me, really, because yeah, it's about, that's his reality, as he's not the only one, but that's his reality, his opportunity. I'm not trying to make this sound bad or whatever, but his opportunity of a life as I have been given, he has lost the ability to move his legs in his life, right? Can you sort of realize the magnitude of the problem? And I'm not trying to make his problem like, and make this would probably not work. He wouldn't necessarily like to hear this because I'm sort of emphasizing and sort of making his problem so big, but it's a big problem. But he is also, being strong and being able to continue on his life. And knock on wood, I don't have that disability, and I hope I won't get some sort of disability like that or any other. But a lot of us are lucky, more lucky than we know. And even though you have values to yourself, such as money. Let's say money is an important value for you, or reading, walking, going on that trip, or whatever, some sort of value, being with friends, all those sort of things, they still apply. And he's lost his legs, right? And now I just got brain fuzz, brain whatever. It was about, damn, what was I going to say? But you get what I'm aiming at, right? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. There's always some flaws of an opinion. So if you have some sort of flaw in what I said, be sure to let me know. but yeah, it's thinking like this isn't who, right? So, and you know you also still have to make expectations to the context and to the position you find yourself in, right? So you shouldn't let all those problems and stuff go because someone else is doing worse. You still have to fight for it, right? And you can't, I wouldn't recommend waiting until you get a problem, right? You get that huge problem. So yeah, no. Oh, there was something about values, and it ended on lost its legs. But I was supposed to say something else. But yeah, I can't remember that. We all have our values, and yeah, yeah. We all have our different values, and what is important. My guitar is important to me, but when people have those sort of problems, and when you don't, and when you also don't, but being able to really appreciate what is important, your health, whatever, right? Those really important things, health, family, friends, that is what I was trying to aim at, so yeah. When I can speak for a guy dying of cancer, of course, but I would think me thinking, that when a guy or woman gets diagnosed with cancer, even if it's deadly or not, they things become more beautiful, perhaps. Every day is important. Every day is super important, and as important, you know being able to cherish every single moment, I think, would be very important to people like that. I can't speak for them, but you know simple small stress, nervousness, pressure becomes insignificant. It becomes not important anymore. Because why does it? you know this will sound also very depressive and sad, but we all will die eventually, and it's just a matter of time when, right? We don't know, but we die of age, and we die. Every single death is the same death. That's the same. That's the end. Death. Every single person. And cancer and other stuff is not the same, but we all die eventually, right? I'm not trying to make them equal. That's not what I'm saying, but a patient dying of cancer is having a deadline or deadline, have a timeline towards their death, as well as a healthy person has a timeline. Yes, of course, the person dying of cancer will die sooner, perhaps, if they are not cured. But we all die eventually, right? So yeah, I don't know why I said it, but yeah. That was me for today. Jesus Christ. I think the title will be Try Not to Depress. Try not to be sad. Grateful, perhaps. Yeah, I think grateful is good. So with that, I'm ending. Hope you had a good day. Hope you will have a good day. I wish you the best. As always, have a laugh, have a smile, and be kind. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.